To an nth degree, yes, but I also do think they've faced low blocks this season and come through it. I just think what's going to happen is they will hit a spell, whether it's starting now or not. They'll hit a spell where games will be tight and they're not playing as well as they know they can do. But this is where you need, and I'm speaking from experience, you end up getting one player who just turns up for a month or two, who just is in the vein of form of their life. For City, it was Gundogan
De Bruyne and
a
Gundogan.
year
Yeah,
ago. De
you guys got
Bruyne,
Salah.
Mahrez. With us, it was Sadio Mane, or it was Salah. You just find a player who finds that bit of form for a month or two, where everything goes well, and they drag you through games where you're not playing as well, even though you know you can. You're not playing as well, and then it'll be a weird result. You might go down 2-0 and then draw 2-2 that changes it all. But do you think Saka? I think it's more of a question to you, Gal. Do you think Saka is the guy who's going to be able to, for a month and a half, 2 month period, constantly drag you through games, or do you think you've got that guy yet?
Listen, we have the luxury, as Terry said earlier, of 4 or 5 guys. We have a cumulative situation. So it's not just Saka. We have a situation where both Saka, Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah, Odegaard, and Gabriel Jesus, including Xhaka, are all players who create over 25 chances so far this season, or over 30 at this point, I think, and have scored over 5 goals, majority of them. So when it comes down to it, it's not a one-man team. So if you're going to say if Xhaka is the guy who's going to carry us, no, I think it's a collective unit. But if you're going to say, can we put ourselves and say who's going to save us? At any given moment, any of those guys can step us and win us a game. So I'm comfortable. And when it comes back to Patrick, you said earlier today you're going to quit social media until this whole arbitration thing's over. So I wouldn't be talking about making jokes about each other's clubs at this moment in time. When it comes to Arsenal,
What joke are you on about?
When you're saying club size, let's be honest. We know what size. We know.
No. I was saying welcome to the big boys. Look. You guys are big guys. I understand. But I'm saying right now, welcome to what was happening to us and Liverpool, because we struggled with people just parking the bus.
1 second, just to let you know, we have been going through this from Arsene Wenger days back in the day. We've been.
I understand. I'm talking about now, where the football is better.
Right. We've been experiencing this for a long time. It's just what's been happening over the last couple of years. People have been taking us as an easy game. Now that people are taking us as a tougher game, they're going to go resort back to what they were doing just 5-4 years ago. So it's not something new. It's just resorting back to the norm of how people used to play against us. So don't think this is something that only City experienced. We've been experiencing this.
So welcome back.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is a little different, Igal, though, is that this squad hasn't experienced it at Arsenal, because this squad didn't play with those brilliant Arsenal teams 20 years ago that went through this all the time, and they just got to learn to adapt to it quickly. It is hard up against low blocks. There's no.
I get that. And the key to this whole thing is, honestly, at home against Brentford, I'm not concerned. Away from home against teams that do this, we're gonna have to find a solution, and that solution could be Jorginho. It could be Jesus coming back.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, Gal. You still
Man say Jorginho.
I've got some super chats here I want to do. First one says, keep an eye out for Tottenham. Our next 9 Premier League games, Spurs are favourites with 3 points behind Man United, and now there is talk of United catching Arsenal. Look, I mean, that actually brings me on to, a little bit onto United. I'd say this is, listen, I was very impressed with Tottenham yesterday. And obviously on Friday, I said I thought that there's a possibility that Chelsea could catch them. And that's because there's only 6-point difference. And I think Chelsea are going to improve towards the end of the season. And that's based on the fact that I haven't seen a good Spurs performance outside of probably the second half against Palace. And they're okay. And I thought they were okay against Fulham. Goal against a run of play, but then dominated the second half. But if Spurs put in performances like they did yesterday, week in, week out, definitely making top 4 because they've got a better team and a better manager than Newcastle. And of course, as a United fan, I'm more worried about them. It's whether that level of performance can be repeated. If I look at my own club in this, Man United have, since those opening 2 games of the season, we were poor against City when they smashed us. We were poor away against Villa. And, Arsenal smashed us in the second half of that game at the Etihad. And we weren't that great in the draw with Palace. But outside of that, we put a lot, a good sort of 15 good quality performances in and above. So Spurs have got to go out and do that before there's talk of catching United. United also play their game in hand on Wednesday. So at home against Leeds, I'm very confident about winning that. So there'll be a 6-point gap. But focus on.
Are you scared of the new manager bounce though? The other manager's gone.
They're not going to have a new manager by Wednesday. I can't imagine they're going to have a new manager in by Wednesday. Maybe by the Sunday there could be a new manager bounce to see who they get. But yeah, I'm listen, the talk of United catching Arsenal. No Casemiro for 3 games makes it harder. Our next 4 games are winnable, back-to-back against Leeds. We're then at home against Leicester, and then we're at home against Brentford. Win those 4 matches, and if in that period Arsenal lose to City and then they lose away to Villa, maybe United can look at that. But United won't win the league title this year. And if you finish in front of Arsenal this season, you're winning the Premier League. And I just don't think Man United are going to do that. United are in a good space. Yeah, go on, mate.
United are in a good space, but I'm just going to go back to Arsenal quickly. You said don't count your chickens or anything like that. I'm not, but
I said that.
I'm not doing that. I'm just looking at the fixtures, the remaining, and I'm saying to myself, we're a good home team. We have 9 remaining home games, and we have 7 away games left. So when it comes down to it, if you look at the way that our form has been this season and how we performed away from home, being one of the best records away from home, and one of the best records at home, I'm not too concerned personally. That's just me.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be concerned, but I'm just saying that you're talking like, yeah, we're definitely going to beat Brentford
because I believe it.
Brentford are a decent team on their day, and just be cautious, isn't it? Like the Premier League is the Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone, and they are a good team.
Patrick, it would be boring if everyone came on here and said anyone can beat anyone. It wouldn't be a show.
It's not boring. That's the reality. But if you believe that, that's cool. But I'm just saying, don't count.
Let me ask you this:
Who's
Tottenham playing next? Who's Tottenham playing next?
Leicester away.
Do you think you're going to lose to Leicester away?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so is that not cocky?
No, not at all. I believe that we'll beat them. But what I'm trying to say is the way you was overlooking that fixture and then talking about the next game. I'm just saying, just take time in it. Be a bit cautious. You have lost 2 on the spin as well, so form has to look and come into it.
Yeah.
So is that?
I hear that, guys. Let me just get through these super chats. Sorry, boys. This says, imagine Kane switched to City, won a Premier League, and City got stripped. That's funny. Luxury tax is applied every time money is spent above the cap, and the money goes to teams at the bottom, increases more. Do you know what, Ronnie? I disagree with that because I don't believe in communism. So Man United deserve to be able to spend more money than anybody else in the league because we've grown our fan base over 130 plus years. We've grown our revenue over that time, and our success dictates that, we can spend more money because our success is, that's like a reward of being successful. It's almost like saying, yeah, United are allowed to spend more, but if we do, all the teams at the bottom are going to get part of our money and have done nothing for it. It's like, I'm not a fan of that myself personally. I mean the bottom financially. I get what you mean, but yeah, for me, what they need to do is run themselves better, continually grow, continually get better, and they'll earn more money one day. Too early to say. New manager groove versus complacent Arsenal. Good for early humbling to prep us for City as well. That's also true. This could kick Arsenal into gear. Every other time they've lost this year or had a bad result, they've typically bounced back straight away. So let's see. Neto says, as an Arsenal fan, not worried as we are the best in England. Players lose form, but the players like Jesus, Emil Smith-Rowe, when fit, City has too many issues to compete with us.
One of the best in the world, not just in England.
Who's one of the best in the world?
Calm down.
It's a fact. You have Barcelona, you have Napoli, and you have Arsenal.
Win the trophy. Win the Premier League now, then we can talk.
One second. Let me ask you a question. Is Napoli not one of the best teams in Europe right now?
In form.
Okay, so do they have to win the trophy before you can say that?
No, we're talking about in form.
Then stop. Don't say that again.
So you agree? So you agree that Rashford is better than Saka right now?
At this moment in time, Rashford is playing like one of the best players in
form. Answer the question how you just
he said in form. Look at that.
Yeah. Is
Rashford right now?
Is Rashford better than Saka right now? Yes or no, please.
Rashford's performing better than Saka.
Is Rashford better than Saka right now? Yes or no?
I've just answered it. Yes, he's performing better than him.
You twist it. You say performing. I just better. I love what Egal does.
No, but Terry, it's not a got you moment because I rate Rashford, and they're 2 different positions. One second. My point is. No one's trying to get you, Egal. Egal, no one's trying to get you. Let me just land.
You've already landed.
It's not done.
You landed.
This goes to show you that Saka has no peers. You're comparing him to a left winger.
But that isn't the point. That isn't the point.
He said player, though. He said player.
I'm winding you up, right? You turned around and said Arsenal, like Napoli, are one of the best 3 teams in the world on form right now because you based it on form. I then said, okay, so based on that, Rashford is better than Saka right now. And the funny bit is, you don't go, yes, he is on form. You say, I think he's performing really well right now, maybe a little bit better than Saka. Like, you won't just answer it in the same direct way you did with Napoli and Arsenal.
Bias.
And their form. It's just funny, Igal.
No, but then
Igal, it's not a dig. Listen, honestly, let me just finish. It's not a dig. You do it all the time. You'll make a really very good, short, concise statement when you're like bigging Arsenal up. And then someone like uses your logic back on you, and your answer is like so verbose and long-winded, so it doesn't sound as good. It's just, Igal, it's just funny. There's not deep it. Leave it as a joke.
It's not.
Joke.
It's not.
Joke.
It's not. But it just goes to show that Saka has no peers. That you're comparing him to a left winger.
No peers.
No, but I said wing. I said best winger. I didn't say best right winger.
That doesn't make sense though.
No, but it's fair. It's fair. It's a fair point that you can't name a right winger performing better than Saka.
No, I wouldn't. I think Saka is the best. Has been the best right winger that I watch regularly. Like in the Premier League, he's definitely been the best. I think in terms, Kulusevski's another very good one. I think Mahrez has been very good. There's no doubt. But I was just making an example.
Yeah. Okay, get it. Yeah.
But again, you just taken me like using your logic as a bit of a joke with you into something really deep that didn't need to go into. But there we go. Igal being Igal, as everyone says. And that's why we love Igal. That's why we love him. Terry.